नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। आई एम JVN डॉक्टर मीनाक्षी, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर in Department of Shalakya Tantra, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Today in this session, we will discuss about the examination of oral cavity. It is a practical session. Oral cavity extends from the lips to the level of anterior tonsillar pillars. Structures included in it are lips, buccal mucosa, gums and teeth, hard palate, anterior two-thirds of tongue, floor of mouth, retromolar trigone. Then we will discuss about the symptomatology. A patient with disease of the oral cavity may present with one or more of the following complaints. The first complaint is pain. It may be localized to a particular site in the oral cavity, for example, tooth, tongue, buccal mucosa, floor of mouth, etc. Sometimes pain is referred to the ear from pathology in the oral cavity. The second complaint may be disturbance of salivation. Xerostomia, which is a dryness of mouth, can result from mouth breathing, irradiation, or generalized disease of the salivary glands. Excessive salivation can result from ulcers of mouth and pharynx. Poor orodental hygiene, ill-fitting denture, and iodide therapy. The third complaint may be disturbance of taste. Sweet, sour, and salt taste are appreciated by taste buds on the anterior two-thirds of tongue. Patient may complain of unilateral or bilateral loss of taste, diminished or perverted taste. Lesions in these cases may be local on the tongue, for example, heavily coated tongue or injury to chorda tympani or the facial nerve. The fourth complaint may be trismus. There are several causes of trismus, but the important ones related to the oral cavity include ulcerative lesions, dental abscess, trauma to mandible or maxilla, and malignant lesions of tongue, buccal mucosa, and retromolar trigone that have infiltrated deeply. Fifth complaint may be lesion on oral cavity. A patient can easily see several parts of his oral cavity in the mirror and presents with an abnormal growth, coating of tongue, a cleft, maybe a cleft or a lip cleft palate, or a fistula, which is oroantral. It is not unusual for some patients of the cancerophobia to fix their attention or the circumvallate papillae as cancer. Then comes the examination of the oral cavity. Examine in seriatim the following structures. Lips. First examine both the lips, the upper and lower, by inspection and palpation. Inspection is the darshan pariksha and palpation is the sparshan pariksha. Each lip has an outer cutaneous and inner mucosal surface and a vermilion border. Look for any swellings, vesicles, ulcers, crust, scars, unilateral or bilateral clefts. Then we should examine the buccal mucosa. It can be examined by asking the patients to open the mouth and by retracting the cheek with the tongue depressor. Examine the mucosa of cheek and vestibule of mouth. Look for change in color. Look for change in surface appearance. For example, ulceration, vesicles, or bullae, like in pemphigus. You should look for the change in surface appearance, like white stria, like in lichen planus, blanched appearance with submucosal scars, in submucous fibrosis, leukoplakia, erythroplakia, pigmentation, atrophic change in mucosa, swelling or growth. The opening of parotid duct is seen opposite the upper second molar tooth. It may be red and swollen lymph secretions with secretions flowing through it on massage of parotid gland like in viral or suppurative parotiditis. Then comes the examination of gums and teeth. Examine the gums and teeth in both the upper and lower jaws. Outer surface of gums is examined by retracting the cheeks and lips and the inner surface by pushing the tongue away with the tongue depressor. There may be red and swollen gums in gingivitis. There will be ulcerated gums covered with a membrane in case of viral ulcers or Winsets infections. There will be hyperplasia in case of pregnancy or dilatin therapy. There will be growths in case of benign or malignant neoplasms. There will be loose teeth in case of maxillary or mandibular growth or periodontitis. There will be caries, infected tooth or teeth in case of maxillary sinusitis if upper and Ludwig's angina if lower. There will be malocclusion in case of fractures of mandible or of teeth maxilla, abnormalities of temporomandibular joint. Then comes the examination of the hard palate. We should look for the cleft palate in will be congenital. We should look for the oronasal fistula in case of trauma or syphilis. We should look for the high arch palate in case of mouth teethers. We should look for the bulge in case of tumors of palate, nose or antrum. We should look for the bony growth in midline in case of torus palatinus. We should look for mass or ulcer in case of cancer. Then we should examine the tongue. Only oral tongue, anterior two-third, is included in the oral cavity. First, examine the tongue in its lateral position and then ask the patient. Examine the to protrude it. Move it to the right and left and then up. Examine the tip, dorsum, lateral borders and under surface. If the tongue is of large size, it may be due to macroglossia, hemangioma, lymphangioma, cretinism, edema or abscess. If there is inability to protrude, there may be congenital ankyloglossia, cancer tongue or floor of mouth, painful ulcer or abscess. If there is deviation or protrusion, there may be paralysis of cranial nerve 12 on the side of deviation. If there is bad tongue, it may be due to iron deficiency anemia, median rhomboid glossitis, or geographical tongue. If there is fissure in the tongue, it may be due to congenital syphilitic, that is Melkersson syndrome. A single non-ulcer fissure may be malignant. If there is ulcer, it may be epiphyseal traumatic, malignant, syphilitic, or tubercular. If there is white, thick patch or plaque, it may be due to leukoplakia. If there is proliferative growth, it may be due to malignancy. Then we should examine the floor of mouth. Examine the anterior part which lies under the tongue and two lateral gutters. Lateral gutters are better examined by two tongue depressors, one retracting the tongue and the other the cheek. Opening of the submandibular duct is seen as a raised papilla on either side of the frenulum. If there is short frenulum, it may be due to congenital ankyloglossia, that is tongue tie. If there is scar in the floor of mouth, it may be due to trauma or corrosive burn. If there is ulcer in the floor of mouth, it may be due to trauma or erosion of submandibular duct stone, aphthous ulcer, malignancy. If there is swelling in the floor of tongue, it may be ranula, sublingual dermoid, calculus of submandibular duct, benign or malignant tumors, Ludwig's angina. Then we should examine the retromolar trigon. Look for the inflammation due to the impaction of last molar tooth or a malignant lesion of this area. After the inspection of the oral cavity, we should do the palpation of the oral cavity. All the lesions of the oral cavity, particularly of the tongue, floor of mouth, cheek, lip, and palate, must be palpated. A swelling in the floor of mouth should be examined by bimanual palpation to differentiate a swelling of submandibular salivary gland from that of the submandibular lymph nodes. In this image, they have shown how we should examine or palpate the oral cavity. This session is powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you so much.